Shalom, everyone, and all praises to the Most High for allowing us to wake up to this beautiful day that He has created yet again. Today we're going to be discussing the fundamentals of success, trying to see if we can come up with some active definition of it based off of what we believe in the biblical anthology, going into the objective definitions and, of course, the subjective. As far as success is concerned, I'd say that the objective definition is simply the achievement of a desired goal, personal, professional, societal, or otherwise. And I could just conclude the video. But to dig a little more deep, I think that success is a very real concept, and so it should revolve around other real concepts as well. And I think that based off of what I've studied, based off of the scriptures, psychology, and philosophy, excuse me, I say that there are two very, very real constructs that I think are probably the most realist in our whole universe, which is love and pain. And I'll probably make a whole separate video on love and pain. I intend for this video to be very, very concise, very, very short and sweet and to the point. But love and pain, the awesome thing about them is they also go together. And I think that success is sort of the openness into accepting suffering and pain for a beautiful outcome, which is where the love and pain interplay. So I believe that in order to have true success, you need to live a virtuous life. That is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which that will align you perfectly with pretty much every virtue known to man. So, striving for virtue and wisdom, and specifically putting that over mammon, because striving for financial success and deeming that solely as success is a big mistake, because only striving for money means that you're only striving for mammon. Mammon is a god. And so if your desired elevation of success is deemed by an idol, then that's going to conflate with your spiritual life. This is why I believe Christ talks so much about how it's difficult for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, because it's the paradigm shift of financial success being conflated with the success of an actual human being. So if we go into Ecclesiastes, the last chapter, I believe it's chapter 12 and verse, I forget. But the preacher, or Solomon, says that essentially the whole duty of man, the whole reason we exist, is to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. So there are a lot of Israelites who will articulate this as, the only reason we're here is to keep His commandments. And it's like, you're half right. The way that you articulate this scripture, in my opinion, is you find out what love is, right? So you read John and other scriptures that prove the fact that the way that we speak the Most High's love language is by obedience. So keeping His commandments is literally us showing our love for Him. So when you apply that concept into the aspect of law keeping due to the fiber of our existence, you then see that we are here because of love. He created us because He loves. So, and that is why our duty is to love our neighbors as ourselves, and we can't even fathom loving the Most High without loving our brother, etc. So, there goes love again. But there's something there. So, the whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. That is to say, the whole duty of man is to be wise and love the Most High, because the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. So love has something to do with success. It has to, because in order to be a successful person, you have to at least align with what the Most High intended for the default structure of your being. So if you're rich, but you're not virtuous or wise, and you're not loving, Ebenezer Scrooge, for example, then you're not successful. Now, you probably gained some financial accomplishments due to the goals that you set because you worship Mammon, or maybe you don't, you just want to be financially successful. That's fine. However, would you really call yourself a successful person? And are you actually happy? And I'm not saying that happiness is really that important, especially as a man, but what is really important is fulfillment. Fulfillment specifically of your divine purpose. The Most High has us all here for a reason, and if He has us here for a reason, that means that we have a divine path that we have to abide by due to His will for us. And if we deviate from that, then I almost guarantee that you're not going to really be successful, right? A detour is not a dead end, but you don't want to indefinitely deviate from the path that the Most High has set for you. So, virtue and wisdom over mammon, living by truth and friendship with the Most High. The Most High is not friends with fools. We know that the Most High is only friends with those who have at least the beginning portion of wisdom down. And then truth. Truth is really, really hard. Truth is another one of those things that are like really real concepts. And it seems that the people who really, really strive to live for truth end up dying because of truth. So we look at Christ, Malcolm X, Christ's disciples, the Maccabees, etc. Truth is it's a very, very good thing to align yourself with, I feel, because if you're living by truth, then you're also not living by fear, because that's where you start to lie, because you fear that someone is going to learn the truth about something, probably revealing something about yourself that you didn't want. But if you're aligning yourself with truth and you realize that you're also perceptive of why someone would lie, then you're probably going to act in a way to where you wouldn't even want to lie, because the truth sounds better than the lie ever could, right? So aligning yourself with truth is also aligning yourself with virtue and wisdom. And there's nothing really better than that. There's nothing more fulfilling than knowing that you are unapologetically, authentically you, and true to your standards and your morals, and especially true to the Most High. Because if you're true to the Most High, then he's going to be true to you, and that's not what your enemies want. If you have enemies, which you probably do. Self-mastery. Self-mastery. I actually got I got chosen by a teacher to elaborate on this to children at one time, specifically young men, and I'm glad I did. So I'll try to go along the bone structure of what I said to them. Self-mastery is really, really important. It's paramount, because when you're striving for self-mastery, you are taking complete authority and responsibility for controlling your own mind and controlling your own actions. And what tends to happen psychologically is if you are not able to control yourself effectively, other people will try to control you. And that's never a good thing for either party, right? Because one, you're going to say, well, why the hell are you trying to control me? And they're not going to be able to control you anyway, so they're going to be more frustrated. And you're also going to think that you don't need to change because someone's trying to change you. So they're trying to make you less you. And so you get offended, and now you're not able to change. Now you're a dogmatic vagabond. No one wants to be that. So self-mastery, full responsibility of yourself, realizing where you want to be. So the master. pinnacle, say, and it's, how can I get there? Okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can stop doing this, I can stop doing this, etc. And if you pray a lot, it's going to be a lot easier, because obviously the ultimate judge of human mastery is the Most High, because he created humans. So a lot of prayer is going to be recommended in that field of self-mastery. And I think a good place to start as a human, if you're a human watching this, is to try your best to control the things that you think and the things that you feel that are on a animalistic psychological scale. And by animalistic, I'm not saying malevolent or anything. I'm just saying things that are somewhat hedonistic in its own fancy based off of what humans do. So for example, hunger, right? So if you're really trying to strive for self-mastery, you're probably going to want to control how you get when you're hungry. A lot of people get angry when they're hungry, or frustrated, or there's a better word. What do people get when they're hungry? Irritated, that's the word. Easily irritated when you're hungry. So you might want to control that a little more. Purposefully go for a couple of hours without eating and see if you can take control of yourself while you're hungry. If you know that you are, if you know that you have quite the concupiscent mind, I'm trying to keep it PG, so if you don't know what that word means, go look it up. If you have that type of mental persuasion, then perhaps you're going to, I wouldn't say force yourself into that position, but realize it when it's happening. And when you come into those situations where your mind goes off into those X-rated territories, realize what got you there. Was it because of something you watched? Was it because you were out at this place, etc.? See what you can control. If you can't control anything, try to control exactly what the thoughts are. This thought is wicked. I banish it in the name of Christ. Right? That's the really solid biblical way of handling it. I actually write about that in my book. So more on that later. But self-mastery. So there's hunger, there's sex drive, there is, what else is there? Thirst, that's good. That goes with hunger. There are some other ones. Affection. So another good way to do this is being able to articulate your thoughts. So probably journaling. That helps with self-mastery as well. Reading, of course. I think that there's something else. Oh, just the things in general that you enjoy to do. Try to purposefully do less of it and not to overindulge in anything. The whole idea is to be in full control of every single thing that you do for a very cognizant reason. Okay. The next, I'm actually going to be quoting this from my wife. I believe that this is bloody brilliant if you're going to if you're going to lump in the financial aspect of success too, because there is a financial aspect of success, absolutely, because that's why the Most High said, if you keep my commandments, you'll live in prosperity and I'll make you fat, etc. Right? There is definitely a financial prowess to success. But if you're going to strive for that, you should make an impact whilst you're making an income. And this is really, really beneficial because that means that you are touching people's minds, hearts, and wallets. You know, that can be a really addictive thing for the spender. So, not to get too much into the sales psychology of it, but it's a very beautiful thing to make an impact whilst you make your income. Because there is a saying that if you do what you like doing, you'll never work a day in your life. I understand where that phrase is coming from, But I think it's far more powerful to do something for other people that you believe that you're doing that is good, and other people think that it's good, because then it's no longer, oh, I do something that I like so I don't feel like I work. It's something more beautifully nuanced. It's like, let's see here. It's like, it's something like, I love what I do and I hope I get to keep doing it. Like, it's very, very different, you know? So, impact while you're making an income, whatever that looks like to you. Maybe that's the homework. How can you do both of those things? Compound interest of character development turns into momentum for eternal achievement. Oh, I'm sorry, external achievement. That's not a typo, because the things that you do here, that is developing your character, that is going to represent itself in the spiritual realm. And if the Most High likes what he sees, he will judge you accordingly, and that achievement will be eternal. So that's still applicable. But let's break this down. Compound interest of character development. So that is just my way of saying, when you look at someone who is going through very good character development, they're going through many different opportunities and obstacles to make them different, to recreate themselves, right? So if anyone here has seen Avatar: Last Airbender, Zuko, one of the best character developments of all time, he turned from malevolence to benevolence. And he also became sort of funny. He became trustworthy. He became reliable. He became sagacious. You know, he did a lot of different things. This is what I call compound character development. You're doing and you're applying so many different attributes of the human existence into your own life. So you're just continuously getting better, getting better, getting better, getting better. This is the offspring or the result of self-mastery. So the compound interest of character development turns into momentum. Now, momentum is very, very important psychologically as far as goals are oriented. That is why there's something called SMART goals. So I've talked about this in other videos, but just to give a quick example. This applies for everyone. You know what? I'm actually gonna copy what Jordan Peterson said. So say that you have a really big goal, right? Like, you know, you just want to get your life back on track. Like, that's a big goal, you know, like you have a big life. That's a lot to do, especially in one day. And if you think like that, you're like, oh, I have to get my life together. Oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, and then you give up, right? But start somewhere. Maybe you're going to clean your room. So you clean your room. Now you've received the dopaminergic kick from cleaning your room. It's like, oh, I did this. And atmosphere is everything. There is a lot of psychological power in cleaning your room, because now your environment is clean and now your mind is clean, because your atmosphere is a reflection of your mind, especially your room, because that is where you keep yourself. That is where you keep a certain part of yourself that typically may not be seen by others, right? Your room is the physical embodiment of who you are, right? So clean it, because now you're clean. That's why that language pattern exists, right? You walk into someone's house, oh, that person's house is dirty. They're a dirty person, you know? So, yes, environment is everything. Clean your room, now you feel clean. Organize things, now you feel organized. Make sure your room is aerated and smells good. Now you can breathe better. I can breathe, which is that's linguistically connected to saying I can relax, right? And that's a hell of a progression from, I have to, I have to get my life together, I have to get my life back on track, and I don't know what to do, versus just, okay, I want to get my life back on track, but I'm going to clean my room. Okay, so I've cleaned my room. Okay, now I'm going to start exercising. Okay, now I've exercised. Okay. I'm going to start reading more. I'm going to start educating myself. I'm going to start doing this. Compound interest of character development. But it all started from the momentum, the snowball effect, if you will, which is saying the same thing, from cleaning your room, or brushing your teeth twice a day, or doing bloody anything. Sometimes people just don't do anything, which is a big mistake. You should never do nothing. You should always do something. Do something, and probably something better is going to open itself up to you. But nothing comes of nothing, so do something, please. So, compound interest. I'm almost done. 21 minutes. This is supposed to be a 12-minute video. Goodness. Compound interest of character development turns into momentum for external achievement. I say external achievement. I almost want to say eternal achievement based off what I said earlier. But in essence, character development happens on the interior. One of the few things, if not the only thing you can control in this whole galaxy, is your own state of mind. Your character development stems from your mind. Your self-mastery stems from your mind. All of that is internal. But once you've done all of the introspective work, once you've aligned yourself with the Most High within your temple, then people can start seeing how beautiful your temple has become. With that, I yield, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys are having a really good Feast of Dedications. I am having a blast at the moment. All praises to the Most High for the Maccabean Revolt. And yes, with that I yield. I hope that you guys stay safe, stay dangerous, and as always, be wise. Shalom.